Eastern Termite Pest Control and Certified Carpet Cleaners. I have a special senior spotlight today. I'm here with two high school seniors for the South Gibson Marching Band and Concert Band. And not only are you guys members of the band, you guys are both drum majors. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us your name?
Maggie Walgren.
Maggie. And what instrument do you play, Maggie?
I play the flute and piccolo.
The flute and piccolo. And what about you?
Hannah Houck.
Hannah Houck. And what instruments do you play?
Trumpet.
The trumpet. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about what band is. Band is a little bit different than a sport like a baseball or a football or something like that, because there's all different variations of it, right? You guys are in the marching band. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then you have concert bands, and then y'all have competitions, right? Well, tell us a little bit. So what's a normal day like for a band student? What are you all doing right now? I mean, obviously you're getting ready for the football games and all that kind of stuff, but then y'all have competitions and stuff as well, right? Have y'all had any of those yet?
No, those start the last week in September. Normally we have the first several football games to prepare for that, to get ready for the show, putting it on the field, performing for an audience beforehand. It really gives us good practice for that. But a normal day in band, it's really multitasking, because it's music and musicality, not just playing notes on a page, but making it sound good, and then putting the whole band together, not just a bunch of soloists, but as an ensemble, and then also putting that on the field and movement with it. It's quite overwhelming as a freshman whenever you're coming and you learn all of this at once.
Sure.
You're not used to having to move and having to look up at the drum major and having to look at everyone around you and play all this music all at once. It's
because you got to keep your time and all that, right? Stay in sync with everybody else.
Right.
Hannah, what's your favorite part, right? Do you like of band? Is it the concert season your favorite, or is it the right now the marching season where you guys are getting to be the drum majors? Is that fun? Because you guys don't do that during concert season, right?
Right.
Okay, so what's your favorite part, Hannah?
My favorite part is the marching band.
Right.
I like the moving and the going and the playing, and I like having stuff to do.
Right, sure. How are practices and stuff like that? How you guys, obviously I've seen you working in the summer, right? You guys are out there, you're getting better. You guys practice like a football team practices, right? You're out there after school, working on moves, working on music. What's that like normally?
Well, really and truly, it's a step-by-step process, because you go from one set of coordinates, like you find that one spot and you have to find the next spot, but as well as how do you get there, and like how you take your step size and making it all come together, not just here you're here, then you kind of walk around, then you're here, all of a sudden you have to make it look good as you're moving as well. So it's really go to this set, oh, they look you go back and forth until you get it right, and you also have to do that. Then you memorize all the music, then you put the music on the field with it. So rehearsals constantly a step-by-step and repeating steps to make sure you reach perfection, or at least as close as you can get.
Right. Oh, absolutely. What is perfection? When does competition season start, and where is that? And what are some successes that the band has had in the past, right? Because you guys are kind of like the football team. Y'all started, you know what I mean? We started small and built up, and I can tell you, from being where we are at Point 5 Digital in the press box and watching the football games, we can also watch the band when you guys come out in halftime, and it sounds phenomenal. And we're way up high, right? So you see, guys sound great. It looks great. The marching looks good and crisp. What all goes into that as far as your responsibilities as drum majors? Because both of y'all are drum majors, right?
Yes, sir. We do a thing called sectionals, where you take sections of the band. Like, she usually handles trumpets because that is her main instrument, and I usually handle flutes, or like whenever we mix up and do marching fundamentals, you split up into small groups and focus on the individual, so then to make sure all the individuals in that one group match each other, because it's all about uniformity.
Right.
And like in sectionals, I can't tell you anything about the trumpet. That's why we have the sectionals. Like, we make sure we focus on the musicality of each specific instrument and tuning, and how you exactly move your foot with it. It's all specifics when it comes to doing all of this.
And that's a big thing, Hannah, right? Like the temperature plays such a big role when it comes to tuning, right?
Yes.
Because, it's really cold, maybe you're flat, right? Is that right? And then hot and sharp. So everybody's got to kind of be set. Are you guys as drum majors, is that part of your responsibility as well, as keeping everybody in tune before you go out to perform? Is that something that y'all help with?
Usually before every football game or any kind of performance like that, we do our warm-up stuff, and then we split up into our little sectional things, and I usually always go over with the trumpets, and we always start with the first chair, and they play, and we go back and forth and do all 17 of them like that.
Wow.
I stand in between them.
Wow,
You have to tune them every time.
Well, that's exactly right. But there's so many things that can change that, you know. So, well, ladies, y'all, tell me about this. Tell me what is. Obviously, you've done band for 4 years, and I know it's a huge commitment because, like I said, it's it's year round. Number one, right? It's not seasonal. It's year round. You work in the summers. You have performances in the winter with concert bands and things like that. Like in the spring you got basketball season, pep bands, all that kind of good stuff. So what has it taught you other than how to read music, right? And how to play an instrument? What has it taught you, and what are some things that you guys plan to do later in life? And what do y'all plan to do next year? I'd like to hear about that.
Really, with band, the things that I've learned mostly is multitasking and how to learn.
Mm-hmm.
With playing an instrument, you obviously can never get it right the first time.
Sure.
Like, you just how to strive for something better. Like, what your goal is whenever you hear music. You know what sounds good, you know what doesn't. You
Right.
know what to strive for and how to set your goals and how to set the bar higher every time. And with multitasking, like we said before, the marching, the playing music, as drum major, you're conveying the attitude of the music and trying to encourage them. If they're doing well, you smile. You make them feel like they're doing a good job so they continue. It's as our leadership position, that's our job, to encourage the band to be better and to do our best to make everything easier for them.
Sure.
And I think that would really help us in a workplace or even in college to be able to work with our peers and encourage each other to do their best and then set our bar higher every single time. Mr. Price is constantly telling us, I'm not asking you to be perfect, I'm asking you to do it better every single time you do something, and that's
Absolutely.
something that we learn consistently, and every year it's gotten a whole lot better just because of that. The growth of the band has been phenomenal simply because of that one lesson.
Well, that's exactly right. And I hear Coach Stedham, and I hear him say that to the football players. And when I talk to him every week, he says that he's like, we don't worry about being the best immediately, just getting a little bit better. And those are rules that you can use forever in life, right? What do you plan to do next year? Where are you going to school? Are you going to school? What do you plan on doing?
I'm going to college, and right now I'm going to Martin.
Okay.
And I'm not really sure what I'm doing there yet.
Right.
But probably something with math or science or something like that.
Are you guys going to try to play in Martin, play in band at all? And do they still have like the UTM honor band? They still have that kind of thing? They still have that? Okay.
We have that every year.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what exactly career I'm looking at, but I'm planning to, I've heard that a statistics about 32% of people that apply for med school, they have majored in music. So I'm thinking about majoring in music with an emphasis in science, because the really and truly musicians, since they learn how to learn in a different way,
Sure.
It's easier for them to go into a variety of subjects because they learn how to learn in a more advanced and multitasking way. It's amazing what these music majors can do. Whatever the fields they go into, they can major in music and do whatever they want. So I'm thinking about doing that and going from there.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you one of the things about college, right? I changed my major, I think, like 4 times in 6 months. It was ridiculous, right? I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. Have a lot of fun, right? Have a lot of fun. Study hard. You don't have to decide immediately, get all your core stuff out of the way. But right now, you're a senior, right? You're in band. Time of your life. I tell everybody that I have to talk to all our senior people, if I could go back, I wouldn't trade anything that I have, but if I could go back and just do it, for a couple of weeks, I would. So it was a pleasure talking to both of y'all today. Thank y'all so much for doing such a great job for the community here at South Gibson, and we can't wait to talk to you again maybe when concert season starts.
Sounds good.
All righty. Thank y'all so much.
You.